Check, check, check. It was bound to happen. There was going to be a point where it was all going to end. Yes, I made a vow, a very specific vow, that I was going to wrap up collecting whole waves of Marvel Legends because I needed an endpoint. So I set one that I thought wouldn't come anytime soon. And I set it about a year ago. I told myself that I was going to stop collecting Marvel Legends wave by wave once they came out with a Speedball figure or a Blue Marvel. And then months later, they announced them both in the same wave. Two figures I just did not think were going to get put in 6-inch form, and yet here it is. Speedball is probably one of my favorite figures, and I really like the Marvel Legends incarnation, but I do have a few problems. Stick with me. Thanks for watching. I'm Dan Umpton, and this is the Doomcast. He's already unboxed. Yes, absolutely. And also, Mr. Robbie Baldwin comes in one of the last windowed packagings for Marvel Legends for a while, till they decide that not doing the windowed packaging sucks and they go back to it. Will they ever? I don't know. Anyway, they'll probably stop making plastic figures before then. I love Speedball as a character. Probably one of my top 5 characters. Also, a power set that is, frankly, underused and way more badass than people give it credit for. The dude bounces around whenever he's struck by kinetic energy at impossibly high speeds that he can somewhat control, but also, while he's doing so, is completely invincible. A lot of people, know him mostly now from Civil War, but back in the day, the New Warriors, wow, he was pretty great. And frankly, this figure, ticks a bunch of the boxes. He's got the goggles. He's got the classic blue New Warriors, Kirby dot ball detail on the costume itself. What he doesn't have that he absolutely should have gotten from the beginning is exactly this stuff. You see the colored dots that are on the packaging in a little wave that moves behind him. He throws these dots off in kind of a colored, not chemtrail, but a particle trail behind him in comics, and that absolutely should have been a plastic accessory that's included. This guy really deserves, if anybody deserves, a very specific stand accessory. It's this guy. Am I going to try and make one out of resin at some point? Yeah, I probably will. Am I going to show you how to do it on this episode? No, I'm not going to. So, PSA, you can actually get effects for Speedball. They are not cheap. You can get them through Can of Beams, which is an excellent provider of aftermarket specialized figure accessories for Marvel Legends. Can of Beams has been in the game for years and always produces quality stuff. I've got several of their aftermarket parts, some of the ringed effects specifically for Havoc and some of the other magic effects, but this is perfect. This is a character specific accessory that is probably unmatched in terms of its quality and in terms of its specificity and need. Really completes the Speedball figure in my opinion, but just wanted to jump in and let you all know that. Anyway, back to the review that I filmed quite a while ago. But you do get some decent posability, especially. It's got butterfly joints. You definitely think of Robbie as being somebody who's going to be in a lot of bizarre poses most of the time because of the nature of his powers. Usually he's semi out of control half of the time when he's getting bounced, around, directionless, all over the place. you know, you can. That's where these Bandai Tamashii things come into play pretty nicely. I like the idea of him bouncing backwards and, you know, smacking somebody in the face out of nowhere. Kind of like this. That's great. I love it. Or, you know, the other classic bounding, like I had him earlier, sort of courageously but a little goofily forward into God knows what, dong first, you know, like he's drawn. Kind of a fun fact, he first appeared in, I want to say it's Amazing Spider-Man Annual 22, one of the first Bagley Spider-Mans, and I think he was actually drawn by Bagley, but was technically created by Steve Ditko also. The last, I think, Marvel character created by Steve Ditko, which is kind of funny. But just the same, maybe that also explains why I like him a lot. But also, that makes him kind of a weird legacy character in some ways, because you have, you know, him appearing in one of the first Mark Bagley Spider-Man books, and you know, drawn simultaneously with a cover by Ditko and pencils in the interior by Bagley, which is kind of awesome. I don't know. Anyway, great character, great power set, great figure all in all. I mean, look at this. The goggles work. He looks, frankly, the way he should, based on the packaging, which is David Nakayama art. And I do appreciate that. Guy's doing a lot of the Marvel Legends art now, and it all looks excellent. But boy, yeah, he really deserves that weird vapor trail of the Kirby dots following him. Or that's not Kirby dots, but the little bubbles. Anyway, that's it. That's it for me. I'm done. I had to set a date and a time. I'm going to have to stop collecting entire waves of Marvel Legends. Is that going to stop me from spending a whole ton of money? Probably not. Even if I'm buying them one-off, I'll convince myself to get a lot of the characters. But man, that's very rough. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I will see you next week.